Right now, a massive tropical storm system is building over northern Australia, and if you are anywhere from Darwin to Sydney tonight, what happens in the next 12 hours could completely change your plans. But here is the part most weather channels will not tell you. There is one city tonight where conditions are so extreme, the overnight low temperature is actually hotter than Melbourne's daytime high. Can you guess which city? Stay with me because I will reveal it in just a moment, and I will walk you through every single capital city forecast so you know exactly what is coming your way tonight, Monday, the 9th of February 2026. Now, before we dive in, do me a favor, drop a comment right now telling me where you are watching from. Your city, your town, your region. I read every single comment and I will personally reply with a localized forecast update just for your area. Seriously, try me. The more specific you are, the better I can help you prepare. All right, here is what I promise you in this video. By the 5-minute mark, you will have the complete forecast for all 8 capital cities, including exact overnight temperatures, rain percentages, wind directions, and the one city where conditions tonight are genuinely dangerous if you are not prepared. Plus, stick around to the 3-minute 20 mark because that is where I reveal the most shocking temperature contrast happening across Australia right now. 2 cities, same country, same night, and a 15-degree difference between them. It is wild. Let us start with the city making the biggest weather headlines tonight, Sydney. The harbour city is the wettest spot on the entire east coast right now. Light drizzle has been falling since this morning and it has not stopped. Not for a single hour. The temperature peaked at 27 to 28 degrees today, which sounds comfortable, but here is the catch. Tonight, Sydney's rain chance sits at 50%. That is a coin toss every single time you walk out your front door. Now, here is something that might surprise you. February is actually one of Sydney's wettest months of the entire year. The city averages between 86 and 142 millimetres of rain across 12 to 23 rain days this month alone. So if you are in Sydney thinking this drizzle feels unusual, it is not. It is completely textbook February weather. But do not switch off yet, because here is the twist. Even though it is raining, the conditions are incredibly mild. Tonight drops to just 19 to 20 degrees with light winds from the south and southeast pushing moisture off the Tasman Sea. Sea surface temperatures are sitting at a beautiful 23 degrees. No severe weather warnings are in place for Sydney tonight. No flash flooding, no major disruptions, just grey skies, patchy drizzle and a mild evening. Keep your umbrella handy and you will be absolutely fine. Now, do not miss what is coming next because Melbourne's forecast tonight has a surprise that caught even me off guard. Melbourne, the city famous for 4 seasons in one day, and tonight it is living up to that reputation again. But here is the shocking part. Melbourne's maximum temperature today only reached 21 degrees. In the middle of summer, that is 4 degrees below the February average of 25. 4 degrees below for summer. Let that sink in. As the evening rolls on, temperatures will slip further to 18 to 19 degrees. You will absolutely want a jacket tonight. The rain chance sits at 25%, which sounds low, but remember, this is Melbourne. The city where brilliant sunshine at 3 in the afternoon turns into an absolute downpour by 4. Southerly winds are blowing at about 22 kilometres per hour straight up from Bass Strait, dragging cool, moist air across the city. Here is an interesting stat though. Melbourne only averages about 3 rain days in all of February. 3. That is far fewer than Sydney. But when Melbourne rain comes, it hits hard and fast in short, intense bursts. So that 25% chance tonight, if it does arrive, expect a proper downpour, not just a sprinkle. The verdict for Melbourne tonight, cloudy, cooler than average, moderate southerly winds, perfect conditions for ducking into one of those legendary laneway cafes for a flat white. All right, now we are flying north and the temperature is about to jump dramatically. Do not skip this part. Brisbane, capital of the Sunshine State, but tonight the sunshine has clocked off early, mostly cloudy skies all day, and the temperature hit a scorching 31 degrees. 31. And that is not even the real story. The real story is the humidity. See, Brisbane at 22 to 23 degrees overnight sounds similar to Sydney, but it feels completely different. Brisbane's humidity is so intense that 22 degrees up here feels like you are sitting inside a steam room. You will be reaching for the fan, cranking the air conditioning and wondering why summer in Queensland feels like breathing through a wet towel. Now, here is a pleasant surprise. Brisbane's rain chance tonight is only 20%. That is actually lower than Melbourne, which seems impossible for the city that averages 172 millimetres of rain in February across more than 20 rain days. That is basically rain every single day of the month on average. So a 20% chance tonight. Brisbane locals, consider yourselves lucky. But here is the warning I need to give you. When February rain does come to Brisbane, it does not mess around. We are talking massive tropical thunderstorms, walls of rain, spectacular lightning, thunder that rattles your windows. These storms dump an absolute truckload of water in 30 minutes and then vanish. So that 20%, if it happens, take shelter immediately. One more thing for the Queensland crew. Sea surface temperatures off Brisbane are averaging 27 degrees right now, the warmest of the entire year. Beautiful for swimming. But this is also box jellyfish season, so if you are heading to the Gold Coast or the Sunshine Coast, stick to the stinger nets. Now remember I mentioned a 15-degree temperature difference between two cities tonight? Here it comes at the 3-minute 20 mark, and it is going to blow your mind. Let us go to Perth first, more than 3,000 kilometres west of Sydney, sitting on the Indian Ocean, and tonight Perth is arguably serving up the best evening weather in the entire country. The temperature peaked at 31 degrees today, same as Brisbane, but here is the massive difference. Perth's heat is dry heat. No humidity, no stickiness, just warm, clean, comfortable air. Tonight drops to 20 to 22 degrees with the famous Fremantle Doctor rolling in, that beautiful sea breeze off the Indian Ocean that Perth locals absolutely love. And rain, Perth gets just 9 millimetres of rain for the entire month of February. 9 millimetres for the whole month. Compare that to Brisbane's 172 millimetres and you realise just how dramatically different this continent is from one coast to the other. Perth tonight is picture perfect. High thin cloud, warm temperatures, virtually zero chance of rain, gorgeous sea breeze. Whether you are walking along the Swan River, grabbing fish and chips in Fremantle, or watching the sunset from Cottesloe Beach, you could not ask for a better evening. Now let us pop next door to Adelaide. South Australia's capital shares Perth's Mediterranean climate, but with its own twist. Today hit 28 to 30 degrees, and as evening arrives, temperatures ease to a lovely 18 to 20 degrees. Humidity is low, skies are mostly clear, rain chance is virtually zero. Average February rainfall in Adelaide is only about 18 millimetres across roughly 6 days. Tonight is textbook Adelaide summer. Dry, warm, pleasant. Ideal for outdoor dining or heading out to the Barossa Valley. All right, now Canberra, the nation's capital, and this is where things get really interesting. During the day, Canberra was properly hot at 30 to 32 degrees. But watch what happens after sunset, which tonight is at 7:42 in the evening, Eastern Daylight Time. The temperature drops like a stone. By 9 or 10 at night, you are looking at just 16 to 18 degrees. That is a swing of 14 to 15 degrees in a matter of hours. Why? Because Canberra sits inland with no ocean nearby to hold the warmth. Once the sun disappears, the heat vanishes with it. Skies tonight will be mostly clear, which is fantastic news for stargazing, one of the genuine perks of living in a capital with far less light pollution than Sydney or Melbourne. But if you are heading out tonight, bring a jacket. Seriously, it might have been 32 degrees this afternoon, but by 9 you will be shivering. Now here is the moment I have been building to. Remember that city where the overnight low is hotter than Melbourne's daytime high? It is Darwin. Darwin, capital of the Northern Territory, peak wet season. And tonight, the most extreme weather conditions in Australia. Let me give you this number. The overnight minimum temperature in Darwin tonight will not drop below 25 degrees. 25 degrees at its coldest point during the night. Melbourne's maximum today was only 21. Darwin's nighttime low is 4 degrees warmer than Melbourne's daytime peak. Same country, same date. 15-degree swing when you compare the highs. But temperature is only half the story. Humidity in Darwin tonight will hit 80 to 90%. Combine 25 to 27 degree heat with 90% humidity and you are essentially living inside a sauna. This is the most oppressive weather anywhere in Australia tonight. And here comes the real kicker. Darwin's rain chance tonight is extremely high. February is peak wet season across the top end. We are talking massive tropical thunderstorms that can dump 30 to 50 millimetres of rain in a single hour. Crashing thunder. Spectacular lightning that lights up the entire sky. Howling wind gusts. These are not gentle showers, these are full-scale tropical storms. There is also the ever-present concern of tropical cyclones during February. This is cyclone season across northern Australia. While there is no specific cyclone threat tonight, it is always worth checking the Bureau of Meteorology updates at bom.gov.au, especially if you are anywhere in the top end. If you are in Darwin tonight, keep your umbrella close and your phone charged for weather alerts. This is serious wet season weather. Now finally, let us hop across Bass Strait to Hobart, and after Darwin, this is going to feel like stepping into a completely different country. Hobart tonight will drop to just 12 to 14 degrees. 12 to 14, that is 13 degrees cooler than Darwin's overnight low. In the same country on the same night, skies over Hobart tonight are mostly clear with only patchy cloud. Rain chance is low. February in Tasmania tends to be one of the more settled months, and tonight is a textbook example. Winds are light to moderate from the west. Sea surface temperatures around Tasmania sit at about 15 to 17 degrees. So if you are thinking about a swim, you'd better be brave. Hobart tonight is beautiful. Cool, crisp, fresh summer air, perfect for dinner on the waterfront at Salamanca or a twilight walk along the Derwent River. All right, let me give you the complete national summary so you have everything in one place. Sydney tonight, 19 to 20 degrees, cloudy with patchy drizzle, 50% chance of rain, light winds. Melbourne tonight, 18 to 19 degrees, overcast, 25% chance of showers, moderate southerly winds. Brisbane tonight, 22 to 23 degrees, mostly cloudy, hot and muggy, 20% chance of rain, but any storms will be heavy, light winds. Perth tonight, 20 to 22 degrees, high thin cloud, virtually no rain, lovely sea breeze, best evening weather in the country. Adelaide tonight, 18 to 20 degrees, mostly clear, no rain, light winds, picture perfect. Canberra tonight, 16 to 18 degrees, clear skies, no rain, light winds, bring a jumper. Darwin tonight, 25 to 27 degrees, extremely hot and humid, high chance of tropical thunderstorms with heavy rain, thunder, lightning and gusty winds. Most extreme conditions in Australia. Hobart tonight, 12 to 14 degrees, mostly fine, cool and fresh, low rain chance, light winds. Looking at the big picture, the centre of Australia is still baking under intense heat with temperatures regularly hitting 32 to 41 degrees. The top end is at the absolute peak of tropical wet season. Meanwhile, the southern capitals, Melbourne, Adelaide and Hobart, are enjoying the most pleasant conditions with moderate temperatures and minimal rainfall. The East Coast, Sydney and Brisbane are getting that classic February mix of warmth, humidity and scattered showers. For anyone travelling around Australia right now, the south is your best bet weather-wise. Comfortable temperatures, low rainfall, beautiful evenings. If you are heading north, always be prepared for sudden tropical downpours that can hit without warning. Now remember, weather conditions can change rapidly, especially in tropical areas like Darwin and coastal regions like Sydney. Always check the Bureau of Meteorology at bom.gov.au for the latest updates. Before you go, drop that comment telling me your location. I will reply with your specific local forecast. And if you found this useful, tomorrow's update is going to be even bigger because I am tracking a developing weather system that could impact multiple states by midweek. You will not want to miss that one. Make sure you are here for it. One more thing before I go. If you are planning outdoor activities this week, here is a quick tip based on tonight's conditions. In Sydney, Tuesday and Wednesday look like the drizzle may finally ease off, so hold tight. Melbourne should warm back up towards the average 25 degrees by midweek. Brisbane, expect more afternoon thunderstorms through the week. That is just the reality of February in Queensland. Perth will stay dry and gorgeous. No surprise there. Adelaide, same story. Beautiful dry summer continues. Canberra, watch those overnight temperature drops. They will keep catching people off guard all week. Darwin, the wet season storms will intensify before they ease. So keep monitoring the Bureau of Meteorology closely. And Hobart, enjoy the settled conditions while they last because a front could push through later in the week. That is your complete forecast breakdown. Every city, every detail, everything you need to know to stay prepared and stay comfortable tonight. Now remember, drop your location in the comments. I will get back to you with a tailored update. And tomorrow's video is going to be critical because that developing weather system I mentioned could bring significant changes across multiple states by Wednesday. You absolutely do not want to miss that one. Stay safe out there tonight, wherever you are across this